Welcome back to my channel. If you are thinking about starting a vinyl record collection this year in 2022, watch this video first because I'm going to be giving you guys tips, tricks, and information about starting a record collection in 2022. I made a video showing you guys about 6 or 7 tips or tricks to help you start your vinyl record collection, and this is going to be basically an updated video of that. A lot has changed since last year, and I've been collecting for way longer now, so I have more knowledge and experience, and I thought that I could give you guys some more tips and updates. The vinyl demand has actually been at an all-time high. It was at like a peak in 2020. It's taking way longer to mass produce vinyl. There are tons and tons of delays and backups in these record plans. So if you are pre-ordering records this year, definitely expect way longer wait times. There is a vinyl shortage happening right now, and these pressing plants are super backed up. And part of that is actually because of Adele. Variety recently reported that 500,000 copies of Adele's record 30 have been sent to these pressing plants. So they're prioritizing Adele's album over other artists. So that's causing a lot of problems and shortages and delays. So just a combination of that and the pandemic and material shortages, short-staffed plants, all that kind of stuff is all combining to make this massive vinyl shortage, and it is affecting smaller, more independent artists more than Adele or bigger popular artists. So if you are pre-ordering albums this year, definitely know that it is going to take a very long time, especially if the artist that you're pre-ordering an album from is more independent. It's gonna take a long time to get those pressings, especially colored pressings. Like I pre-ordered a colored pressing of the band Camino's vinyl back at the end of June, and it is now like the middle of January. So it has been like 6 or 7 months, and they still have no update as to when this album is gonna be released. You may not even get them until 2023. So I just mentioned that vinyl is super popular right now. It's at a high demand, but there is a shortage of it, and so that means that the prices are definitely going to go up. Vinyl was expensive before the pandemic, but now it is slowly, I think, getting more expensive. I'm noticing now. So just know that when you're starting your collection in 2022, vinyl prices are probably going to increase. So basically just consider the cost of everything when you're starting collecting. And then you also obviously need to buy record equipment like a turntable. And if you want a quality one, it's definitely going to cost you a lot of money. I recommend the LP60 or LP60X. Is going to cost about $100. I just wanted to throw that in here if you're looking for one. I highly recommend that. I have the LP60X BT in white and I love it, so that's the one that I started out with and I still have it. It's high quality, and I honestly didn't realize how much it was going to be for that quality stuff, but luckily, like, I saved up money, and if you're looking for that kind of stuff, save up your money and get the good stuff. Vinyl is making a comeback in recent years, so now would definitely be a great time to jump into the hobby, or if you had a collection years ago and you stopped, definitely get back into it now. Teens like myself are now getting into vinyl or getting back into vinyl, which is super awesome. So now like a younger generation is getting into vinyl, and that's really cool. I know a lot of people like to shop online, including myself, but I highly recommend that you try to go to your local record store to look for records. You don't want them to go out of business, so definitely support them. And that's also what Record Store Day is. So if you don't know what that is because you're just getting started record collecting, Record Store Day happens every year. But during the pandemic, it's happened like 2 or 3 times a year, but normally it is 1 day a year where you go to your local record store and you can get exclusive records that are only released on that day in store. So it definitely helps to draw business to local record stores. I participated in both drops last year and I had fun doing it. I'm definitely going to do it again next year. So it's definitely easier to buy online, and you can do that too, but I definitely say try to go to a record store if you can. The vinyl sales were at an all-time high last summer in 2021. This next tip I definitely struggled with, so I'm hoping you guys won't make the same mistake as me. Do not wait when pre-ordering or buying a new record. If something releases and you want it, buy it as soon as possible. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a record that I wanted and I decided to wait and I didn't buy it, and then I checked back later and it was either sold out or it increased in price. So if you see something, don't hesitate, just buy it right away, especially if there is a limited number of pressings. So the real reason why I started my vinyl record collection is because I wanted something to listen to while I edited my YouTube videos, because I only had one phone and I can't play music while also editing at the same time on my phone. And so I'm like, well, I need something else to play music, and so I started looking at CDs and vinyl, and I ultimately just decided to go with vinyl. I do have a CD collection, but I don't have a CD player, and I just like the whole aesthetic of vinyl, just having a huge like 12-inch vinyl. Just holding your hand and like all these colored pressings and just the whole experience of it to me sounded so cool, so I decided to jump in and start a record collection. Vinyl is a more personal and involved music listening experience, and you can just watch a record spin while it's playing and it looks so cool. A lot of records have exclusive artwork or inserts. That's stuff you wouldn't get just by streaming music. Like physical media comes with extra art booklets, and I'm a fan of like art booklets and stuff like that, so that's so cool to have. And some even have posters and stuff, so that's another pro. I think you appreciate the listening experience way more if you listen to vinyl. You know, you have to take it out of the sleeve and put it on the player and hit start. It makes it way more of like an immersive experience because you just have to listen to the whole album, so it should be an album that you like. I mean, technically you can skip songs, but I just think it takes away from the experience. This is also something I used to struggle with, so I hope you guys, again, won't make the same mistake that I did. You need to be very, very careful with your records because they can be damaged so easily. They're very light and delicate. Store your records in a safe place and keep them clean. Don't touch the grooves and handle them with care. Accidents can happen so easily. I can't tell you how many times I've been like just putting records away or putting them on a turntable or taking them off the turntable, and I've like almost dropped them or they slip or something happens. Luckily, I haven't broken anything and I've never dropped anything, but I've had some close calls. This is something that I honestly didn't realize until now, like 2 years later after I've started my collection, and that is vinyl takes up a lot of space. It's so easy to get carried away and just start buying a bunch of records, but definitely make sure you have the space for them first. Measure out your storage area or your shelves or whatever you're using. Make sure your records fit because they are like 12 by 12 and some might even be a little bit bigger. So you definitely want like 13-inch shelves if that's what you're looking for, or just the crates or whatever. Just make sure it fits. I've had to rearrange my space a lot. I did put some of my records on display on my wall, which I'll talk about a little bit more later, and that helped to save space in my nightstand, but still now I am running out of space. I have about 60 records now. Also, do not overstuff your shelves. Give all your records nice breathing room and space. If you overstuff it, it can cause ring wear and damage to the sleeves, so just be aware of that. Something that beginners definitely need to know is that you do need to buy more than just vinyl records and a turntable. That is if you want to keep your records in good condition. So if you want your records to last a long time and sound good for a long time, you need to buy cleaning supplies, outer sleeves, inner sleeves, all that kind of stuff to help keep your records nice. You might even need to buy shelves or some type of organization if you don't have that already. The cleaning supplies and sleeves aren't too expensive, but if you want to keep your stuff in nice condition, I definitely recommend you invest in some good outer sleeves, inner sleeves, and cleaning supplies. I did make 2 videos, one where I explain how I clean my records and one is tips for record sleeves. So if you want to see those videos, I will link them at the end of the video and in the description. This tip is very, very important. Make sure you know what version of a record you are buying. A lot of albums have a ton of different variants of them that are released, but what really helps is the barcode, the runout information area, and the label, because those numbers will tell you exactly what variant you have. And obviously some variants are rarer and more valuable than others, so make sure, like, if you're buying or selling, don't get scammed and don't scam other people. Discogs is really great for this. If you don't know what it is, Discogs is basically like a catalog of every record ever. You can go on there and you can type in the information, the barcode, whatever, and you can figure out what variant you have. Like, it's super important to know if you have an original pressing or a repress. There's a big difference. Vinyl displays are super pretty and super popular. I do have one myself. I displayed my records on my wall. I have these white little wall display holder things. I got them off of eBay. They're 3D printed and I just screw them into the wall. You can display your records as like nice pretty decoration in your room, but you do need to be careful when you're doing it. I still have the outer sleeves on my records even though they're on my wall, just for extra protection. If you want to keep the cover / sleeve nice, then definitely do not put tape on the back of it. Just put it in a sleeve and put tape on the sleeve if that's how you want to display it. There's a lot of different options for vinyl wall display. Just get something that won't damage your records and doesn't require tape or anything attached to them because you don't want them falling down. Also, make sure that you don't keep your records in direct sunlight because obviously if anything that is kept in direct sunlight will fade in color over time. I think framed albums look really nice and they're super aesthetic, and I think they're fine if you're not going to play the record. Another big reason why you should start collecting in 2022 is because if you start now, maybe your collection could be worth something one day. As time goes on, records do go up in value, obviously depending on what it is, but a lot of them go up in value and increase in price, especially if they're a limited pressing or they're rare or something like that. Here's a really good example of this. This is Funkwave Bounces Volume 1 by Calvin Harris. I bought this record off of Calvin Harris's merch store for $40, and then like almost right after I bought it, it sold out completely, and now it is worth I think between $150 and $200. So that definitely increased in price, and that is obviously going to also increase the value of my overall record collection. So that was all of my new information for 2022 about starting a vinyl record collection this year, things you need to know about, and some tips. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I really hope that I was able to help some people who are just starting their record collection this year. If you have any video requests that you want me to do about my collection, let me know. Subscribe for more vinyl related content in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!